Hey guys, it's Katie. Thanks for being here. So today I'm going to be doing a full face of first impressions, and everything is from the drugstore. I have been so excited to try out some of the new stuff that's come out. So much new stuff has come out lately, and honestly I probably could have done just like a full face of Wet n Wild or a full face of Physicians Formula. There's been so many new products. But to see which product I did use, just keep on watching. Okay, so I'm going to start with eyes, and I'm going to go in first with the Milani eyeshadow primer. I've heard good things about this, but I have never used it before. So I'm just going to apply some right here to my lid, and I actually prefer usually something that is a bit more like ivory colored or white or something like flesh colored, even to kind of neutralize like the veins right here on my eye. But we'll give this a try. Okay. Feels nice. Doesn't feel too runny or too stiff. I really like the texture of it actually. Okay, now eyeshadow. I'm going to go in with the Color Riche Pocket Palette Eyeshadow Quad, and this is in the shade Avenue des Roses, and it just looks like a really pretty neutral rosy palette, which I'm loving rose colors right now. So I'm going to go in with this lightest shade, and I'm going to apply that just all over the lid around the crease. Then I'm going to go in with the top darker color right here. It's not showing up that well. Might need a stiffer brush to really pick this up. Now I'm going to go in with the darkest shade, and I'm going to use kind of like a more concentrated brush for this. The other colors weren't really giving me any payoff, so I'm going to go in with the darkest one on a more concentrated brush and see if I can get some depth through my crease. It's a little bit better. Pick up a little bit more. I'm just running that through the crease to create some definition. Okay, so this color is actually performing a bit better than the lighter one did. The lighter one just didn't show up, and then the really light one basically didn't show up at all. So it looks like a nice like rosy cream color, but basically it just looks white when you apply it. Okay, so I'm going to take the brush that I just used, the slightly fluffier one, and go back in with that lightest shade to blend in here, and just blend that corner, inside corner a bit. I'm just going to pack this on a little bit toward the outside corner and then blend out. These are blending actually pretty well. It's just that those real light shades basically just didn't show up at all. And usually on me, I'm so fair, light shades show up just fine. But this brown is giving me good payoff, and I feel like it's blending really well. So now on my finger, I'm going to take this lightest shade at the bottom and pack that on my lid. So I'm just using my finger, and I'm just going to pack that on and hope I get some color payoff. Yeah, that's not bad. This lighter shade is definitely better than the other one that I used as a transition shade. So this one is definitely giving me more color. Maybe it's the fact that I'm using my finger to pack it on, but definitely better. So overall, I would say these blended out beautifully. I just didn't get enough like satisfactory color from the first two lightest shades that I used. So now I'm going to go ahead and do brows because I can't stand to look at myself anymore without them. Okay, so I'm using the Milani Eye Tech Define, and it's a 2-in-1 precision felt tip pen that instantly defines brows and eyes. So one side, sorry, is a felt tip pen for your brows, and the other one is a felt tip pen for your eyes. So I'm going to go in with the brow side. So this is in the color medium brown, and this may have been a really bad idea. I was just really intrigued by it. So I'm going to go in light first. Oh, okay. So that's not too dark. Okay, I was afraid to go in heavy and look like I was using a felt tip pen on my brows. Oh, I like that actually. That color is not half bad. It's a little warm, but then like medium brown I would expect it to be. Okay, so that's filling in nicely. Let me do the front some. Tail. It's kind of hard to get a precise, let me turn it this way, precise tail to the eyebrow. This is a bit thick for me. Okay, so that's not bad. The color's a little warm, but other than that, it's kind of hard to get really precise without drawing a line like this, which I don't really want to do, because I think that won't make them look natural. Okay, now onto the other eyebrow. It's kind of drying up already. That's weird. Okay, so I have some really, really patchy spots on this side. So this might be the test of whether this would work for anyone other than someone with like super full brows. Nope. Nope, where I have like really patchy spots, it's not even sticking. Oh dear. I could see if you had like full brows, how this would help just like color them in or fill them in really quickly. But for somebody with patchy brows, I'm not sure this would work. Okay, so this side is still kind of wet too. Like it feels like it might smear or smudge. And it looks kind of wet. Like it looks kind of shiny and it doesn't look like real hairs. Okay, so this was a mistake. So I'm going to go ahead and fix this now. Yeah, not loving this. So we'll try out the eyeliner in just a second. So I'm hoping the eyeliner works better. So it's this super fine tip like this. All right, so I am going to start on the outside corner and just draw a little wing and up onto the lash line a little bit, and then connect this part right here. Now since this is so fine, it's pretty easy to use. I'd say it's pretty dummy proof. I like that. It's nice and black. It's a little glossy. It's like not super matte. So I'm going to go into my lash line a little bit. And then I'm going to go on the inner corner and draw a real thin line right here. I usually do not line all the way on my lash line, like all the way, because if I leave this area bare, it tends to open up my eyes more and make it look like I have more of a lid here than I actually do since I have hooded eyes. Yeah, I like this. Okay. I love how tiny the point is on this. Especially for someone with hooded eyes if you're trying to draw a real thin line. Can't talk. Okay. So for mascara, I'm going to go in with the Falsies Push Up Angel Mascara by Maybelline. I had tried the other push-up mascara and I did not like it at all, but I thought I'd give this one a try. I do like Maybelline mascaras a lot. And I got mascara on my lid. I have been using Latisse to make my lashes grow and I love it, only that they're so long it's impossible for me to put mascara on without getting some on my lid just because they curl back so much. It's crazy. Okay, so this is definitely separating. I feel like they look kind of fluttery and it's holding the curl, but it's not giving me any volume whatsoever. But if you like a lengthening mascara, this would probably be a good one. There's no clumps at all, so that's good. It's just basically combing through and combing through. It might be kind of hard to build up volume, but if you just want length, this might be a good one. For primer, I'm going to be using the new Physicians Formula Insta Ready Face Primer. This has broad spectrum SPF 18, and I love multitasking products. So this is your primer and your sunscreen, which is great because if you wanted to skip it from your moisturizer, you could, or if you didn't want to add in another sunscreen, you could. So I love multitasking products. I don't know if I'm going to love this, but I love multitasking products in general. So there's kind of a weird little pump right here. So I'm just going to pump up on the back of my hand, run that between my fingers. Okay. This has an interesting feel. Like it's clear. It's just a clear gel-like texture. And then when it goes on really softly and kind of like disappears. Like it's almost like, it's got slip to it, but it's like almost like a powdery feel now. Like it dries down really quickly, like it doesn't stay slick, which I actually like. So I'm going to put this all over my face and use it as my SPF today. I really like the feel of this. It's not tacky at all. It's really, really smooth. I actually think I'm really going to like this. I love the feel of this. Yay. Okay, so now on to foundation. So for foundation, I went with the NYX Total Control drop foundation. This is in the color Vanilla 06, and I got this because I wanted to see if it was like the Cover FX custom cover drops, and it's not. So I actually had tested this on the back of my hand and kind of compared the two. The reason for me this is not the same is that the custom cover drops, the consistency is basically you could add it into anything. This is so runny and watery, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's super, super thin. It's kind of hard to mix. It just runs all over the place. And you could add it in, but a little of this doesn't go nearly as far as a drop of the custom cover effects might. So it would take maybe 4 or 5 drops of this, which would make your foundation or your moisturizer or whatever so runny. I just don't think it would work to mix this with anything. So I'm going to try it just on its own as a foundation. So we shall see. So I've shaken it up and I'm just going to put a few drops. Okay, so that's 4 drops onto my brush. And okay, here we go. Okay, so this is actually setting fairly quickly. I was kind of surprised by that. I would say the coverage right off the bat is sheer to medium. Yeah, sheer. Definitely sheer. I definitely thought it would be runnier when applied to the face, but it actually sets. I also thought it would be dewier when it was applied to the face, but it looks like it's setting fairly quickly and it's not like watery looking. Actually looks like skin. It's not bad. The thing I liked about this too is that there's so many shades in this range that I thought a lot of people could probably get their match. Okay, so this is blending out super easily, and I don't know if that's the primer or the foundation, but the foundation looks like a decent match. My usual super, super fair, but this is not even the lightest color. So I think if you're super fair, this might be a good one to try, because there were 2 shades lighter than the one that I have here. There was like a more of a yellow tone and then like a really, really light pink. So I think just about anybody could find their shade. I have put about 6 or 8 drops on this brush. I feel like I'm using a lot of product with this, which you don't really want to do. I mean, it's not a super expensive foundation or anything, but you don't want to have to use like half a bottle to do your face. I feel like I'm using a lot. However, the finish is so pretty. Goodness. I mean, it looks like skin and it's very sheer, and I usually prefer like a fuller coverage, but this is really, really nice. I'm going to see if I can build it up a little bit. So I usually need a little bit more around my hyperpigmentation right here, and I'm just going to press this in and see if I can build it up. That's okay. It's building up okay. It definitely still doesn't look thick though. And it's definitely not like bad on the pores. So I don't feel like it's like, you know, bring them out to play or anything. Okay, now time for concealer. I got the Liquid Camouflage High Cover Concealer from Catrice. This is supposed to be waterproof, and I got it in the color 10 Porcelain. And actually though, I'm not sure it's going to be light enough. We'll see. I usually need like crazy light concealer because I am so light already. Okay. And this might also be a bit drying since it is waterproof, but we'll see. Just get the darkness under my eyes, lift it a little bit. Well, I don't think it's going to be brightening just because I don't think it's light enough. So I might have to go in with some of my trusty Clinique airbrush concealer. But that's okay. We'll see. That's not bad, and it's blending really well. It's not like caking up already. Having to go in and just add a bit more down here where the dark spots under my eyes are so dark. Clean up the shadow. Yeah, that's actually not bad. Trying to see if it looks crepey, so I make this weird face. Actually, that's really not bad. Okay, so it still looks smooth under there, and I mean, again, that could be the primer, but this is pretty good. Not bad. So I really like the finish of this powder. It didn't like take away all the life from my face. Like I really liked it. It didn't look too powdery. Okay, so for contour, I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild MegaGlo Contouring Palette Contour. After I got it, I was looking at it and I'm afraid this contour color actually might be more of a bronze color for me, but we'll see. I'm going to give it a go. So I'm going to tap this, tap off the excess. Yeah, I'm afraid this is going to be too warm for me. Just going to go in real lightly. This is more of a bronzer on me. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bronze up my face with this. This is way too warm for a contour for me, so I guess this was a fail as well. Yeah, this and the eyebrow stuff, not so much, but I mean, it's not a bad bronzer. I need some life in my face right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and go in with this all over. Gonna bring it up kind of onto my cheeks as well, just to, again, warm up my face instead of trying to contour it. Just add some definition, basically, where it's not all white. It's blending really, really well, though. That's good. Like, it's blending really well. Like it. Like it so far. So I desperately need some blush right now, and I went with the Butter Blush by Physicians Formula, and this is in the color Plum Rose. And I was so excited when I saw that these were coming out. I absolutely adore the butter bronzer and think that for me, especially being a fair person, it's like the best bronzer ever. It's like dummy proof and it's gorgeous. And honestly, when it came out, I was like, they need to come out with blushes and they need to come out with the face powder in this formula because this is great. They haven't come out with the face powders yet, but I'm still hoping. So anyway, this is in the color Plum Rose, and I'm just gonna put some life back in my face. There were only 2 colors that I saw. Maybe there's more, but I only saw 2 colors, and the other one was like even lighter than this. So this is not like super pigmented or anything. Okay, so this, it smells just as good as the bronzer does, but I'm not sure the color payoff is that good. I feel like it's still really nude looking. And maybe that's what it's supposed to be, but the other color that I saw looked really, really light. So I'm not sure if these are the 2 colors, how many people these are going to work for. So I did add just a little bit more blush because I felt like I just still looked kind of dead. So now for highlighter. I got this Wet n Wild MegaCushion highlighter, and this is kind of a new one. There's a contour cushion and a highlighting cushion. There's only one color as far as I know. But you get a little sponge and open it up, and there is the cushion. This comes out, which honestly, I thought it was just kind of like a hinge situation. Comes right out, which I'm not sure I like. So anyway, so I'm hoping that by dabbing this on top, I won't ruin everything else that's underneath, since it is kind of a cream or liquid product. But I'm hoping that dabbing it, okay, so I've got it on here, won't totally screw up the rest of my makeup underneath. In this case, the cushion actually does make a difference, because a lot of times like cushion foundations, like, what is the deal? Like, that's not that big, you know, a cushion doesn't make that big of a difference. This, I think, actually pressing it into the skin like this really makes it all one. I think it really works. This is absolutely beautiful. Love it. So to set everything, I got the new Milani Make It Last Setting Spray. Prime, Correct, and Set 16-hour wear. Smells good. It's got kind of like a perfumey scent, but it's not like real strong, and the mist was really fine, so I like that. But definitely got a lot of it. For lip liner, I went with the NYX Slide On Glide On Stay On, and definitely a turn on Waterproof Extreme Color Lip Liner. So hopefully this stuff will be good. I like that it's creamy. Are supposed to be creamy, because I really love like ColourPop lip liners. They're some of my absolute favorites. You can use them as lipsticks. You can really get into the outer corner and then, you know, just kind of buff it away so you've got fullness, but it doesn't look like a harsh line. I love it. So let's see what this feels like. Very similar, actually. Feels like a gel. Okay, and this is in the color Alluring. Sorry, I forgot to say. This actually feels very similar to the ColourPop lip liner, which is what I was hoping for. So I'm just going to fill in and then go over with lipstick. So when I was editing, I realized somehow I missed the section where I put on lipstick. So here is the Wet n Wild MegaCushion Soft Matte Lip Cream. This is what I used in the video, but did not somehow record. I like it, and I like the color and the formula, but what I don't love about it is this applicator. It's massive. So you squeeze from the bottom, you're supposed to squeeze up, and out comes the product. Well, one, it's really hard to gauge how much product is going to come out. And then two, okay, like this, I'm squeezing and squeezing. Oh, it's going to go. Okay, so yeah, it's kind of thick, so it takes a while to come out. So, and you're kind of afraid it's just going to squirt everywhere. And then the applicator is massive. So the color was pretty, the formula was pretty. It's a pretty coral. I mean, it's okay. It dries down, you know, kind of like to a soft matte. It's not gorgeous, but it's fine. But this applicator just really ruins everything about this that might be good. I don't know, besides like Angelina Jolie, whose lips this would actually fit. And even then, it's so hard to get a precise edge around your mouth, and it just kind of smears it everywhere, which is not a good look. I mean, and if you have to go in with like a separate like lip brush, it kind of defeats the purpose of having this applicator on the lips cream. So yeah, for me, this was a total fail and a pass. Okay, so it has been 6 hours since I applied my makeup. I haven't blotted my face or applied any powder at all. And again, I did not bake this morning. So I am looking really shiny right now, especially like my nose and right here around my nose. But this has not broken down. Like, it looks crazy shiny and it looks like really oily, but it hasn't separated. So I'm really impressed. I'm not sure if it's the primer, and I'm not sure if it's the foundation, but something about this combo is working, because for me, without baking and 6 hours later, like, this looks really good. And it was like misting or sprinkling on and off here, and I was in and out. And so being in the humidity and then still having it look like this, I think is really good for me. Did not break down at all. And it didn't really settle into my fine lines around my mouth. It did, I I don't want to say it settled or moved really, but they became more noticeable. Yeah, there wasn't like makeup pooling in them, but they just became more noticeable. Okay, so standouts in this First Impressions full face. The eye primer I really liked. I felt like it made everything go on smoothly and, you know, last longer, all that kind of stuff. Everything you're supposed to do, and it's a really good price, so I really like that. I actually really love the primer. The fact that it has SPF 18 in it, I think especially for someone with oily skin, because a lot of the time a SPF can make you so greasy. But for some reason when it's in things like primers or even powders, it doesn't do that. So I feel like especially in the summer, this might be a really good option for somebody with oily skin and for people with dry skin. It's just a great primer. Again, the consistency is so different. It almost goes powdery, like it just kind of evaporates, but it leaves your skin so soft. It's really neat. So I really like that one as well. This is my favorite out of everything. I was so impressed by this and how beautiful it was, how even it looked. No chunkiness, no glittery flecks, no. I looked at it in daylight. It's still so beautiful. It's just like pearlescent gorgeousness. It is absolutely beautiful. And I think it's like $5. Something I was kind of disappointed in was the butter blush. Honestly, the finish is beautiful. And I feel like it could almost be like a really subtle highlight for someone with a dark skin tone. It just didn't have enough pigment basically. So I don't think I'm going to be buying this again. Also, the Milani Eye Tech and Define, the brow, and total fail for me. However, the eyeliner and was a really good eyeliner, and it's held up, you know, for a good 6 hours. So that's it for my full face of First Impressions. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.